In today's Cricut tutorial, we're going to take this Christmas cardstock and create these Christmas gift tags. Let's make this. My inspiration for this project is essentially trying to personalise as much as you can. You've got a Cricut, you've bought all of your cardstock and vinyl and all that kind of stuff, and you've got a lot just sitting there not being used. Why not use it for these kind of things? Gift tags get thrown out anyway, but why not just make your presents look that little bit cuter and reflect your personality and show people that you are putting a little bit of effort into your presents. The materials are very minimal. I've got a light grip mat, a little bit of Christmas cardstock and some glitter cardstock, and I've also got foam tape. Foam tape is optional, but I think it's really worth using some foam tape. So I'm going to do all of this project in Design Space. I'm going to start by creating some text, then I'm going to do an offset, and then I'm going to essentially cut it. So to start off with, I'm testing a couple of fonts out. So I'm going to use April's name. She's got some, because she's got the P's and the I's and the L's in it, it's a really good word or a good name to test whether or not you can tell the difference between letters, because what we need to do is basically attach them all together, make sure they're sitting on top of each other. So I'm going to, first of all, I've typed her name 3 times and I'm going to test some different fonts. Now, while I'm testing those fonts, what I want to do is squish them together. So I go over to the edit, so that's our pencil tool up in the top left corner, and I'm changing the letter space. So you can see that the reason we want them all touching is because we want it to cut out as one piece. We can cut them out separately. If you don't want to join them together like I have, that is not a problem at all. It just means for me, it's just one piece that's going to go on top of our offset. If you wanted to do these individual letters, go for it. It's just going to take you more time. So as most of our projects, as most of the projects I do, it is up to you and you just play around with it. I'm giving you some ideas, showing you some of the skills, and then you can work from there. So I've gone with the milk chocolate font. I like it particularly because it's got the serifs up the top of each of the letters, or at the top and the bottom of each of the letters, sorry. And so that means that they'll be able to attach to each other but still have a gap between the letters. So the I and the L in particular, I want to make sure that there is a gap, because otherwise it just looks like a fat L. An I and an L can sometimes just look like two things stuck together and it's just a fat downstroke of the L. So that's why I've chosen that one. And then I need a circle to go around our little gift tag because I'm going to tie them on with ribbon. So I'm going to go to shapes, and then I'm going to go to the circle shape. And then I'm going to do an offset, but this time I'm going to do a minus offset. The reason I want to do that is because I'm trying to create a ring where our ribbon can go through. So I'm doing a negative offset, and then I select both the offset and the circle, and then I do a subtract. So now what I've got is a circle that I'm putting over the top of, or attaching, I'm going to attach it to each of the names, and I've now got this circle to thread the ribbon attached to the name. So I'll just duplicate that so that everyone has one. And my next step is to highlight the name and the circle, and then I'm going to go to combine and unite. If you do not do this, what happens is the Cricut is going to cut the circle separately, and the word, because they're joined already, the word will be cut as one word, but the circle will be cut separately, and we don't want that. So we're going to go to combine and unite. So that means that the circle and the name are attached to each other. Then I'm going to do an offset. Now I'm going to do the offset in a different color of cardstock. So it's going to have the red dotty cardstock is on the bottom, and then I'm going to have that dark silver glittery cardstock on top. Now you can see that once I've done the contour, we've got a tiny little circle in there, but that's not big enough for our ribbon to go through. So once I've gone through and I've done the offset on all of them, I'm going to select another shape and I'm going to just create a circle that is the same size as the inside of the ring we created. Now, what I'm going to do with that circle, I'm going to make sure I have aligned it as close as possible to the middle of the circle. Now, I think this, you're probably better off watching more than listening to me, because I think it will sound confusing, but if you follow this, slow it down, pause, you can see that now I've got that red dot. I changed it to red just so I could see it better. That red dot is over the top of the ring, so it sits in the middle of that ring. Then I'm going to select the red dot plus the offset. So I'm going to choose the red dot and the April offset. Once I've done that, then I'm going to go down to combine and subtract. And then what you will see is now the offset has a bigger hole in it that matches the circle that we created, or the ring essentially that we created to feed the ribbon through. Once you've done that, it's now just a matter of making sure you save it. This is good to save because you can, if you need more names and things like that, that's easy to do. And the other thing just before we go on to make is to check our offsets have not got any holes in them. So if you have a look at Jack has a tiny little triangle. Now you can leave that there if you want to, but sometimes, particularly when you're working with cardstock, I think getting rid of all of those tiny little spaces is helpful because sometimes our blades can rip them. So if you just hit on contour and then just get rid of that triangle, it would really make it easier for you. Then once we've saved it, we go to make, and I'm doing, like I said before, I'm going to do the offset in regular cardstock, so that'll go through on the red, and then I'm just going to choose glitter cardstock for the names. So now that it's all cut out and we've matched everything up, now it's just a matter of adding some foam tape. Now you could use glue if you wanted to and have it flat against the offset, but I just like having the foam tape just so that it gives the gift tag a little bit of depth. So all I do is take my little bits of foam tape and I'm cutting them up. So you can see that I've got little rectangle ones. You can get foam tape in a roll. Just depends on where you get it from or which ones you have at home, essentially. And then I just cut them up so that they fit in. So you can see I'm doing April's first. So I've got one that fits in the I, one that fits in the L, one that fits on the one side of an A. And so the idea is that you can't see the foam tape when you place it down on top of the offset. So that's why you need to cut it. And then you just really just need to line up that circle and just press it down. Like, it's such an easy little project. But how good is that offset? The offset and the foam tape. I really do think it's just makes the project that little bit better. Now you can see that my Eddie did not attach properly. So obviously when I moved the letters close to each other, the D and the I didn't completely touch, which is fine. Like I said, you could do these all separate letters anyway. But it's just a matter of putting down one section first and then lining up the second section. So a little bit of extra work, but it's okay. We can deal with that. So I'm going to just speed this up now, really, because I'm just going to repeat this for all of them. You can see I made a number of different gift tags because I've got more than one present for each person. So yeah, I'm just going to speed that up. I'm so glad I chose to use the foam tape for this because I think that really does make the difference. I was worried about the colour of the cardstock. I really want a gold or a light silver, but the dark silver works. I'm really happy with it. How great were these? They've turned out so nicely now that I've put them on the presents. I think that this has worked really well. By the way, that wrapping paper is from Wrapping Paper Co. It's an Australian company, so if you're looking for some really great wrapping paper, jump on there. Anyway, this project was fantastic for a beginner because we're just looking at using text, changing letter spacing, and using offsets. So, and also there's looking at how to use negative offsets as well. So great project if you're a beginner, great project if you just want to jazz up your Christmas presents, because I know that Christmas is only in a couple of days. So, you know, if you really want to make your presents a little bit more special, get onto that Cricut and do this. From the start to end, that took me 45 minutes. So it's not a hard project, straightforward, and I made 10 different things. So, you know, a couple of hours if you've got a really big family, but I think it's really worth it. And it just gives them that little bit of personalisation with Christmas. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's project and I can't wait to see you for the summer sessions. We are on the school holidays, so I'm going to be doing some little quick snippets of different skills that you can learn on your Cricut. So I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget, you can always jump on my Instagram, head over to my Etsy store, or even check out the videos YouTube recommends for you down below.